Hello friends, I am Rakhi Chakrabarti and today I am going to conduct my second day session of my YouTube channel, that is Biology Prospects. So again the same topic, the 10th standard, that is the human chromosome, and today we are going to focus on the objectives, that is the structure of the DNA molecule, differentiate between the sex chromosome and autosomes, and they describe the function of chromosome. So friends, previous class I have already explained that the chromosome, this is the condensed and the shortened form of the chromatin fiber, and these chromatin fibers are actually made up of the DNA molecules and the histone proteins. So we have already familiar the structure of the chromatin fibers, or so-called that is the chromosome. During the cell division time it is formed in the chromosome, and what is the structure of chromosome. So now today's topic, that is the structure of the DNA molecule, it is also the part of the chromosome. So next slide which I am going to show you, that is the structure of chromosome. So let's see the structure of the chromosome, and I'm just going to start the explanation about that topic. Friends, chromosome contain DNA, and this DNA is basically the component which carry the characteristics, or so-called the heredity, from the parents to the offsprings. So what is the main function of the DNA? That is it is the vehicle of the heredity, carry the heredity from the parents to the offspring. So the scientist Rosalind Franklin first observed, or so-called that first he studied about the structure of the DNA molecule in 1953. At the same year, in the 1953, the two more scientists, the Watson and the Crick, work out about the structure of the DNA. And these two scientists, Watson and the Crick, shown that the DNA is the large molecule, or so-called macromolecule. What is the meaning of the macromolecule? Macromolecule means these molecules contain the different other elements, and which is the responsible to maintain the structure of this particular molecule. And this molecule is not only the one type of the components is carry, it is carry the more than 2 or the 3 different type of the elements, or the different type of constituents. Now student, that is the structure of the DNA. Already I told you that is DNA have the double helical structure, or so-called that is DNA are containing the double helix. The full strength of the DNA, that is called the DNA strand. Is it the full structure of the DNA we call the DNA strand, and this DNA strand has containing the 2 helical structure, or so called in the picture you have seen, these are the 2 ribbon shaped structure. This is actually the 2 helix. Okay, these are the 2 helix actually containing the different elements, or the different components which are made up the total molecular structure of DNA. So the DNA called a polynucleotide stain, complementary in the nature, and around each other in the double helix. So DNA is the large molecule, and which consists the 2 polynucleotide strand. So children, you are first learn these are the name polynucleotide. What is polynucleotide? Poly word that is emphasis that more than 2 or more than 1, and these are the nucleotides. This is that completely new words, and these are the nucleotides is the basic component of the DNA. So today's session we will learn the structure of the nucleotide, and which is the main structure of the gene, or so-called that is the segment of the DNA. So let's start this explanation of the DNA structure. The strand run in the opposite direction, and they are anti-parallel. You have seen the screen, the slide, whatever I present on the screen. There are the 2 strands. They are anti-parallel, or so-called that is 2 anti-parallel chains are continue and wrap each other. So 2 diagrams I show over there, and one that is a ladder shaped structure, another that is the structure shown up, that is the 2 anti-parallel ways. So dear friends, you have already seen these are the anti-parallel structure. In the middle, few components are present which make the whole DNA helix or whole DNA strand as a ladder shaped structure. Before explaining these are the ladder shaped structure, I will going to focus few words or the few topics which is related over there. The first topic is what is strand and what is helix. Dear friends, the total DNA component, the total DNA part we call that is the DNA strand, and these are the two anti-parallel or anti-clockwise wrapping ribbon shaped structure. This is known as helix. So called that is the DNA strands contain the double helical structure. I hope you understand that is what is the difference between the strand and the helix. Now I am going to focus in between the ladder shaped structure. What is this ladder? These are the ladders are made up of the three basic components. The three basic components are one molecule of the phosphates, one molecule of the pentose sugars, and the one molecule of the nitrogen base. So what is the nitrogen base? Pentose sugars, that is the sugar which contain the 5 carbon atoms, and the phosphate which is combined with the pentose sugar with the hydrogen bonds. At the same time, the nitrogen base also combine with each other with the hydrogen bond. But these are the two helix. They are contain the several nucleotides. These are the components: one phosphate sugar, one pentose sugar, one phosphate molecule, one pentose sugars, and the one molecule of the nitrogen base. These are the three together known as nucleotides. Each and every helix that is contain their own nucleotides, and these nucleotides are join each other with the hydrogen bond. Now we are focused how many types of the nitrogen base are mainly present inside of the DNA molecule. How many types of the nitrogen base are present in the DNA molecule? Friends, there are the two type of the nitrogen base normally we find out inside the DNA molecules. The first nitrogen base that is categorized into the purines, and second nitrogen base that is the pyrimidines. So first one that is the purines, it is adenine and the guanine, and second one that is the pyrimidines, it is cytosine, thymine and uracil. So called uracil is not present in DNA, it is the part of RNA. Uracil is not present in DNA, it is the part of RNA. I repeat that one. But the first four, that is adenine, guanine, these are the purines nitrogen base, and the cytosine and thymine, these are the pyrimidine nitrogen base. Friends, you have already seen the slide on the screen which helps you to understand what is the basic difference between the purines and the pyrimidines. The purines nitrogen base, they are just consist of the 9 carbon atoms together, and obviously these are the nitrogen base, so nitrogens are present in here and they are joined together with the hydrogen bonds. So purines, that is the 9 carbon atoms over there, the benzene rings, and the pyrimidines, that is 6 carbon atoms are over there. Okay, so these are the 4 are the basic nitrogen base which is mainly constitute of the nucleotides nitrogen base part. So adenine always compile with the thymine, and the guanine always with the cytosine. Guanine with the cytosine combine with the 3 hydrogen bonds, and the thymine with the adenine with composed with the 2 hydrogen bonds. So called that is the polynucleotide structure of the DNA. That is the mainly for these are the one molecule of the phosphate, one molecule of the pentose sugars, and one nitrogen base. Obviously these are the nitrogen base are opposite, that is purine and the pyrimidines combined together of the 2 helix and makes the complete DNA strands. So this is the normal DNA structure which is prescribed or which is described by the Watson and the Crick, and for 1962 for their experiment about the DNA structures, they have already nominated for the Nobel Prize also. So now the second topic in this chapter, that is how our new DNA strand form, or so called the DNA replication. So next topic, that is the DNA replication. Okay friends, now we are going to emphasize the topic that is DNA replication. DNA replication, this is the literal meaning, formation of the new DNA molecule. That means one parent's DNA, you have seen on the slide, that is the one parent's DNA, and after that in the particular helix structure, any helical part, whenever it is break and just start the formation of the new daughter DNA. This is the procedure actually known as DNA replication. So during the replication, DNA double helix open at one end, freeing and the strand. To each of these free strands, new complementary strands begin to form in the opposite direction. This process takes place for the whole length of the DNA as given in the picture you have seen over there. So in the middle, whatever the color, green color and the purple color you have seen, these are the nitrogen base with the combination with the phosphate and the pentose sugar, so called, that is nucleotide. This nucleotide actually the basic part of the hereditary materials. So this much is given in your syllabus up to the class 10th level of the DNA replication. In the further of the higher classes, you have got the more knowledge about that particular topic. So according to your syllabus, our next topic is the differentiate between the two chromosome, that is sex chromosome and autosome. Before we are going to explain these two topics, we are learn about the few terms. Okay. Previous class I have already told friends, that is the human consists of 23 pairs of the chromosome. Out of these 23 pair of the chromosome, the first 22 pairs of the chromosome are termed as the autosomal chromosomes or the autosomes. The autosomes carry genes which control the somatic traits and play no role in the sex determination. That means these are the these are the chromosomes are responsible only for the somatical changes. That means our body structure, internal, outsider, whatever the different type genetical structures according related to our body shapes. Different species, different body structures are there. These are the 22 chromosomes. According to the human beings, it is responsible for our body shape or body structure. The rest of the one set of the chromosome, that is the last chromosome, that is 23rd pair chromosome, this is actually related for our sex chromosome. Okay, these are the sex chromosome has only for the responsible for carry the hereditary material from the parents to the offspring. They don't play any role for the somatic part. So now in human males, in the picture you have seen, there are the 3 chromosome structure has been given. In the middle, that is the chromosome, the centromere part, the 4 traits or the 4 chromatids, they are in the equal shape and the size. Is it? In the middle part of the chromosome, there is the centromere part. The 2 chromatids or the 2 pairs, tetrachromatids, they are in the similar or the shape and size. Actually, they are known as the homomorphic or homologous type of the chromosome, where the 2 pair of the chromosome, their shape and size are equal, that is known as homologous chromosome. And when the 2 pair of the chromosome, their size are not equal, their shapes are not equal, they are known as heterologous or the heteromorphic chromosome. So it is the human males, one sex chromosome is smaller than the other. For human males, the one sex chromosome is smaller than the other. Okay, so smaller one, that is known as Y chromosome, and the larger one, that is known as the X chromosome. I repeat once again, in human males, one sex chromosome is smaller than the other. That is in the human male, whatever the sperm produce, this sperm containing whatever the chromosomes are present in the sperm, this is the actually the 2 different type of the chromosomes are present over there. One, the big one on the bigger shape of the chromosome, that is the 2 arms or 2 chromatid are present over there, that is the sex chromosome of X. And whatever the smaller one chromosome, that is known as the Y chromosome. So the larger one is X chromosome and the smaller one is Y chromosome. Thus condition in the male may be briefly expressed as the XY, and the female as the same type of the chromosome you have seen on the screen. They are the female, both chromosome, that is in the egg we find out the chromosome. These are both are the same shape and size, and both are the X chromosome. So friends, the sex chromosome of the human females are described as the homomorphic. That is the reason in the previous of the class, earlier the previous of the showing the slides, I already told you the two term homomorphic and the heteromorphic. Whenever the chromosome shapes are both equal, in that of the cases the chromosome is homomorphic. Whenever the shape of the chromosomes are differ or the size are differ, in that of the cases the chromosome is known as heteromorphic. So the human male, that is the X and Y, so that is the heteromorphic chromosome, and whenever the female, they are the both chromosomes shape and size are equal, so that is known as the homomorphic chromosome. As the human female produce one type of the gametes with X, and it is says a homogametic, and the human males produce the two type of the gametes, that is as described the heterogametic. So this is the basic difference between the sex chromosome and the autosome. I repeat once again, the sex chromosome, that is only the one pair presence in the human body or the human cells, and these are the chromosome only responsible for the hereditary transmission, or so called, that is the just transfer the hereditary material from the parents to the offspring. Wherever the other 22 pair of the chromosome, that is responsible for only the appearances, looks, or the body structure, internal, the external structure, that is the somatic part of the body, and that is the somatic chromosomes. So now the next slides explain us what is the function of the chromosome. The overall chapter, this is the last topic we have already come, that is the function of the chromosome. So friends, we have already learned about the different function of the chromosome. Here I just include all the parts together, and same things I repeat once again, that chromosome are the hereditary vehicles that contain genes. Genes are the segmented part of the DNA. Previous class I have already explained, that is the gene is the segmented part of DNA, or so called the various type of the combination of nucleotides, that is called gene. Chromosome are the hereditary vehicles because it is contain gene. Second, it is the control the synthesis of structural proteins and helps in the cell division, cell repair, and cell growth. Next session we will start to learn the cell division. There we are observe, that is the how the cell divide and what are the different type of the changes take place inside the chromosome. So chromosome is basically responsible for the heredity, and how they are controlling or how they are just convey the hereditary material from the parents to the offspring because of the cell division. And cell repair and cell growth also the part of these are the cell division. Third point, that is the synthesis of enzymatic protein. Chromosomes control cell metabolism. Obviously inside the cell, whatever the metabolism or whatever the different type of chemical changes take place, the nucleus is mainly responsible for that, and inside the nucleus the chromatin fibers are present over there, that is the so-called chromosome, also responsible for the synthesis of the enzymatic proteins. And the lastly we have learned, that is the sex chromosome determine the sex of individuals. The total number of the chromosome, one pair of the chromosome in human body, which is related to the sex chromosome, because this is carry the hereditary material from the parents to the offspring. So dear friends, I just recap the total points or the total topics which I explained in this session. I repeat once again, today we learn that is the structure of DNA. DNA is the double helical structure. It is the full one strands which carry the two helix, and these are the two helix are made up of the different other elements, and these are the three different elements are phosphate, one molecule of the phosphate, one molecule of the pentose sugars, and the one molecule of the nitrogen base. So sugar and the phosphate backbone has the nitrogenous base arranged at the right angle given ladder like arrangement. There are the 2 purine base and the 2 pyrimidine base. So nucleotides are made up of the component of phosphate, pentose sugars and the nitrogenous base attached to the sugar inwards with the hydrogen bonds. These are the nucleotides are make just a ladder shaped structure. So called the DNAs are the combined together. The 2 helix are combined together with these are the nucleotides, and numerous number of the nucleotides are present inside the DNA helix. So the total DNA strands are just combined with the numerous number of the nucleotides, so called it is a macromolecule. So today's session we will learn why the DNA are called the macromolecule and what are the components that made up with the DNA. We are also getting some knowledge about the purine and the pyrimidines. I call that is the purine is the 9 carbon atoms joined together with the nitrogen base, and the pyrimidines that is the 6 carbon atoms joined with the nitrogen base. So second top things we will learn in this chapter today, that is the DNA strand formation. New DNA strand formation, that is the DNA replication. So the formation of the new DNA, that is called the DNA replication, and during the replication DNA double helix open at one end, freeing the strand. To each of these free strand, new complementary strands began to form in the opposite direction. This process takes place the whole length of the DNA as given. The last topic we discussed in this chapter, that is the sex chromosome and the autosome, and here I explain that is the homomorphic and the heteromorphic chromosome. We have, as a human, we have 23 pairs of chromosome. Among these 23 pairs of chromosome, first 22 pair of the chromosome, they are responsible for our somatic changes or the autosomal part. They not take any kind of the, they not play any kind of a role for the any sex determination. These are the somatic genes only which control the somatic traits. And the last one, that is the sex chromosome, which is only for responsible to carry the heredity from the parents to the offspring. Here we find out that the male and the female, the 2 categories. The male, they are the 2 type of the chromosome presence in the sperm, that is the X chromosome and the Y. The X chromosome is the larger one chromosome and the Y chromosome, that is the smaller one. These are the 2 different shape and size, so it is called the heteromorphic chromosome. And the same time the female, which is containing the eggs, and these are the eggs which is contain the 2 shape and size chromosome. That is the reason these are the chromosomes are called the homomorphic chromosome. And now in the last we getting knowledge about the we getting a little bit knowledge about the different functions of the chromosome. In this chapter we have learned that is the chromosome is the vehicle or so called that is the hereditary vehicle of genes. It is control the cell division, cell repair, cell growth. It is also control the cell metabolism to the synthesis of the enzymatic proteins. And then the last one, that is the sex chromosome, determine the sex of individuals. So friends, that's all about your first topic in ICSE Standard 10, the first chapter of the human chromosome. In my next session, I will going to explain the cell division and the cell cycle. So I hope you understand the gist of the topic of the human chromosome. If you have any doubts, any queries, I always heartily welcome, and please you write down in the chat box. I hope very comfortably you can understand my words. I will try my best to explain all the topics as for the very easy and the cozy way. So thanks a lot for watching my videos. If you like and if you get some valuable information about this video, please like and share our YouTube channel, that is Biology Prospect. Please subscribe this channel and for the further latest updation. Thank you.